2020, as I'd mentioned in one of my previous blogs, is um, it has been quite a roller coaster ride. We thought after the initial optimism that people had with 2020 as a whole, and then the pandemic set in and things started to look a little difficult and turned ugly. But then towards the end of the year, it's again looked positive. Um, in terms of what happened, major events, if I look at the startup ecosystem in particular in India, uh, of course, the one major decision that came across during the year was avoidance or ban on Chinese investments into Indian businesses. That was a one major decision affecting startups. In 2021, we are expecting Indian startups, as we saw in the later part of 2020, will have newer investors from within the Asian countries like Singapore, and as well as other part of the world like Japan, the US, Europe. We're looking at more investors coming in from there. Of course, one major um, you know uh, event of 2020 which we cannot do away with is COVID-19 itself. It came when the world was least expecting it. No country was fully ready for the pandemic itself. Healthcare systems globally got challenged and stressed as well. So 2021, countries may work to fill up these gaps that were created by the pandemic itself. Coronavirus or COVID has forced people to sit at home. The demand for telemedicine facilities increased drastically. 2021, hospitals and governments may work to make telemedicine facility more accessible, more affordable. So that's one area. Uh, we would also see, 2021 bring in more for in terms of work from home in jobs, as more and more companies are now thinking of it as a win-win situation for themselves as well as for the employees. It helps them also maintain some kind of a work-life balance. I'm sure there would be few who would not agree to this statement, but yes, several surveys show that this has helped. Virtual meetings have becoming more common now. People, even if are in a position to travel, are happy doing virtual meetings, virtual events, hybrid events. These will also create a lot of market. In 2021, people may not travel on flights just to attend official meetings, and this would also mean a lower carbon emission. Um, 2021 also is the year for the COP26. So we would see a lot of discussion around the sustainable growth. We would also see a lot of discussion about renewable energies and some of that happening as well. I would analyze and make some suggestions rather than making predictions. I would not be want to be seen as someone who is gazing down the crystal ball. But yeah, based on some of the reports that we recently had, for example, the Morgan Stanley report, which came out in November, it said that the global economies are set for a next phase of V-shaped recovery in both the developed and the emerging markets. The IMF also has said that the global economy has the potential to make a full recovery in 2021, rebounding from the minus 4%, 4.4% decline in 2020 with a growth of plus 5.2% in 2021. Next year, there may be very liberal monetary and fiscal policies blended with a vaccine rollout or speeding up of the vaccine rollout, which has already started in the first half of 2021, to lead to a strong rise in the economic and earning growth. Um, it is not even 2021 yet, and a lot of changes have already happened. We're still in the last few days of December. Um, Foremost among these is the work from home directive that has resulted from the quarantine. That various governments across the world are practicing. Uh, Although many tech startups have already embraced the work from home concept long before the coronavirus started and created a problem, many still had a lot to adjust to do or adjustments to do. Since there is no telling when the pandemic is going to end, The work from home concept is expected to carry on until late 2021 or even through 2021. Uh, Within everything that has happened and still happening, and with all social issues that have come to light, businesses are becoming more conscious about socially beneficial matters. Startups will add social responsibility programs into their projects as well. Um, Businesses or startups are not only the ones affected by pandemic. Employees of these companies are also the ones who had to go through a lot of changes. They had to do a lot of adjustments as well. This is the result why businesses will start to put more focus and value on the employee well-being or workers' well-being as well. This is going to help startups perform better. On the plus side, India is expected to continue to have more startups joining the Unicorn Club in 2021. There are certain predictions by investors, but I'm not going to give numbers. The startup ecosystem has learned quite a bit from the events of 2020, and it has become more mature just in the year itself as compared to the last 5 years. Startups that have made it through the pandemic and the happenings of 2020 are now operating very sensibly, sorry, in terms of unit economics, burning cash, employee retention, employee well-being, and many more of these issues. So we are looking at a renewed, a rejuvenated ecosystem, which probably is looking optimistic at this point of time for 2021. I would particularly want to point out, startups which probably are still at their early stage. The Indian startup ecosystem this year has seen a lot of ups and downs. It has seen quite a few startups surviving the pandemic, some of them disappearing completely, some of them surprised the industry with their performance and growth. So what I did was I tried looking at some innovative startups that have started their journey in the last couple of years, still early stage, but are very promising. Here are some of five that have performed exceedingly well in 2020, and despite the pandemic and um, what holds as a promising future in 2021. These are some of the startups that I would want to talk about. The first one is FinIn. It's India's first neo-banking startup. FinIn began its journey in 2019. It uses AI to analyze the spending of consumers, thereby generating reports that give insights on their spending and their saving behavior. This ensures security, privacy, and the startup is using bank-level security, anti-fraud, and encryption system to protect its customers and the sensitive data, and also any unauthorized usage. So this is one startup I think that we might keep an eye out on. Um, the other one is Habits. It's spelled as HBITS. Um, it is again a 2019 incepted startup. It's an online platform that facilitates fractional ownership of grade A pre-leased commercial properties. Given that commercial properties are in stress in terms of occupancy globally, I think this is a good concept that came into existence in 2019. It allows investors to choose from numerous properties to invest in, while also offering personalized services, both online and offline. Uh, with the company, customers can own hard assets at low ticket sizes, generating monthly income and capital appreciation. Unlike existing income generating products in the market, which only offer, the brand um, uh, here gives the opportunity for the companies or investors to look at smaller investments and yet higher returns. The third one is again from the financial services domain. The VVFi is a RBI certified non-banking finance company, NBFC as it's popularly known. This was founded in 2017, and the company is based out of Hyderabad. It aims to achieve financial inclusion by making credit available for all deserving Indians without any bias, transcending the limits of location, literacy, monthly income, and credit history. Uh, they have products like Flex Salary and Flex Pay that aims to offer innovative financial solutions to customers across the credit spectrum. Again, they are using a lot of technology, data science, and they're trying to focus on unserved or underserved consumers in the Indian market, which is quite a big number. So VVFI is definitely the future of financial inclusion in India. Again, there's one more startup that I would want to talk about is MoneyTap. It's India's first app-based credit line that provides instant and affordable, flexible credit up to 5 lakh rupees or 500, thousand Indian rupees. Again, it is democratizing credit by catering to diverse consumers segment in multiple cities. MoneyTap is again leading the way in creating new categories, um, revolutionizing the credit lending in the Asian fintech space. And the last one, and because I've been always talking about data and AI, there's a company or a startup which is called Spocto. It is a big data analytics company that uses machine learning to help solve problems for the banking and the financial services industry. Spocto are a big data analytics company that transforms consumer data into actionable intelligence to help businesses know their consumers better. They're using machine learning, to provide psychographic data that offers meaningful insights into uh, whys of the consumer behavior, their psychology, and their buying patterns. It also helps them in understanding uh, the saving pattern of the consumer. Machine learning is also helping them in collecting, analyzing, and understanding a vast quality and quantity of data. Um, you know, is helping to understand the consumer behavior for financial institutions. So these are five startups out of the list of hundreds of startups that have come in existence in the last couple of years that I think are the ones to look out for.